During his first battle with Yhwach, Ichigo is revealed to be a Quincy. Fans were excited at this new twist, expecting Ichigo to use his Quincy powers, similarly to how he used his fullbring and hollow genes. 150 chapters later, and Ichigo never used his powers, or at least not in the way readers wanted. In this video, we will explore a reality where Ichigo not only does use his Quincy powers, but also joins the Quincy and their elite ranks, the Sternritter.
天差残月一瞬で終わらせてやる月が天使全ての力をこの斬撃に込めることだけだ俺自身の力で
Ichigo gets transported to the Wanderreich, after accidentally awakening and using his powers when Grand Fisher tried to kill him. Together, with Baz, Meninas and Sung they become mercenaries for a village, until one day Quiljopi defeats them. The four Quincies are then brought back to Silbern, and begin their training to become Sternritters. As a Sternritter, Ichigo would be granted the position of Schutzstaffel, due to his potential and high Ryatsu. The Strawberry Script would be the Spirit. Spirit allows Ichigo to project his soul onto everything around him. His effect and manipulation on those objects depend on their emotions. For example, Ichigo would be able to fuse with the shadows by projecting his soul onto it. Since the shadows literally have no emotion, he can bend them in any way, shape, or form. Ichigo could use this to travel distances quickly, gathering intel which would be of great assistance to his allies. This doesn't just go for shadows, he can fuse and manipulate the environment around him similar to Asashiro Kenpachi from the Safui light novels. He could also use this ability during the first invasion, since morale was at all-time low for the Soul Society, and Ichigo could just bend their souls to become even more vulnerable. The only downside to this is that if his opponent has strong emotions or a higher Ryatsu than him, his script immediately is negated. However, Ichigo's script isn't the only thing going for him. We saw that in the TYBW arc, the Sternritter plundered the Bankai of various captains. Based on this, we can conclude that Yhwach would allow Ichigo to use his Shinigami powers, getting access to techniques like his signature Getsuga. Ichigo would even create fusion forms of his Quincy and Soul Reaper abilities, which he trained against other Schutzstaffel members like Jugram or Yuryu. Speaking of forms, it's the perfect segue into his Volstandig. Ichigo would use his script to coat darkness all over his body. This would be his Volstandig form Betzalel, where Ichigo becomes darkness itself. He would literally be intangible unless you have something like the X-axis or Ikemonji. Now some may be asking, what will happen with Aizen? Well, I think that in place of Ichigo, Isshin will use Mugetsu in order to stop Aizen. During the war, Ichigo will fight against Isshin, and eventually he enters his inner world, meeting White and Zangetsu. So when the Schutzstaffel get to the royal palace, Ichigo uses his Volstandig to get to the Reo. Since the Reo is half dead, Ichigo's script would work on it, and Ichigo would fuse with the Reo, becoming the temporary Soul King. Yhwach and the rest of the Schutzstaffel, and then destroyed, with Ichigo taking all of their scripts. Ichigo then unfuses with the Soul King, returning balance back to the three worlds. After the war, Ichigo becomes the new Quincy King, with Yuryu as his second in command, and from there peace is pretty much established. That's what I envisioned as a Sternritter Ichigo. If you like this type of content, make sure to check out the channel. Paragami logging off.